one. There's no turning back for the both of us. No point of denying the truth. Let go of the past and get stronger. Just believe in the fire between us. Believe in me, believe in love. Believe in the fire between us. 'Cause it will be so heavenly. Just believe in the fire between us. Believe in the fire between us. Believe in the fire between us. I know what you're facing, I know what you fear. But soon you'll be ready, your mind will be clear. There's no turning back for the both of us. No point of denying the truth. Let go of the past and get stronger. Just believe in the fire between us. Believe in me, believe in love. Believe in the fire between us. 'Cause it will be so heavenly. Just believe in the fire between us. Believe in the fire between us. The love in our hearts is causing these flames. The will in our minds will keep them forever. Just believe in the fire between us. Just believe in the fire between us. Believe in me, believe in love. Believe in the fire between us. 'Cause it will be so heavenly. Just believe in the fire between us. Believe in me, believe in love. Believe in the fire between us. 'Cause it will be so heavenly. Just believe in the fire between us.
We've had this conversation and you seem to agree with me. But when there's complications, you withdraw and leave me to be. When there's a problem, you become like a wall. And every time I trip, it's a free fall. Why don't you help me the way I help you? You don't have to save me, just be my parachute. When I'm feeling down, you're just not there, making sure I'm okay. Why don't you help me the way I help you?
Don't
my parachute. Oh, why don't you help me? I've got sunshine, I've got you now. My body and body, oh, body and body, oh, body and body, oh, body and body. I know love now, and you're stuck in my mind. My body and body, oh, body and body, oh, body and body, oh, body and body. My friends don't like that I'm with somebody, that I'm with somebody. Oh no, oh no. I just want to stay in this melody, stay in this melody. Oh, oh. I've got sunshine, I've got you now. My body and body, oh, body and body, oh, body and body, oh, body and body. I know love now, and you're stuck in my mind. My body and body, oh, body and body, oh, body and body, oh, body and body. My friends don't like that I'm with somebody, that I'm with somebody. Oh no, oh no. I just want to stay in this melody, stay in this melody. Oh, oh.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Tuesday Night Studio Sessions. My name is Sean. I'll be your host. Tonight is the 29th of April, and it is almost May. And it is crazy to me that it is almost May. This year is screaming by, like my life is just going away. It's crazy. I don't really have much to talk about. Like nothing new really happened this week. And I've been pretty busy with work, but I was able to fly. Sorry. I was able to fly this guy today. And this is the Insta360 X5 on top of my DJI Avata 3.5 inch. So we're going to play. I didn't have the batteries charged, so it wasn't a very long flight. It was maybe about a 5-minute flight. Really just a test flight. I didn't go crazy up in the sky. And it was actually pretty windy, so my drone wouldn't hover in the same spot. It would drift a little bit. And yeah, when so whenever your drone starts drifting a little bit, it won't drift as much if you're like actually moving it yourself. Drifting in a hover. I feel like the Insta360 X5 was like a big wind sail on the top of it, so I might need to make a custom mount, but this was just using the this vertical horizon mount from Insta360. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see right there. That's a good shot. So it's basically turns your Insta360 on its side. I bought 2 of them and planning on doing some sort of like VR 180 really quick mod with them, using all purchased parts instead of 3D printing some things, because not a lot of people have 3D printers. So anyway, just that's one of my thoughts. But it might be kind of cool just to wear the 360 camera and walk around with it and stuff like that. So let me see what Chuck's on about. So yes, Chuck, that is it. But I did not do it myself. Nacho did it himself. But I ended up just buying one off eBay that someone else built. But yeah, that is it. It flies great and can hold more of a camera on top of it, but again, it's the same battery, so you're pushing better motors with that battery and you're carrying a payload, so battery life isn't near as long. But it is 6:45, so I'm going to go ahead and do roll call and see who was here first and who was here last. Steve and Jones. So East Coast was here first. Welcome, Dusty. Hope you're having a good night. Then Chuck was here second, which is pretty awesome. Sean Foxhorn was here third. Who else we got? Jim is in the house. I feel like Jim is different than Jim's droning. I feel like somewhere he said he was from Michigan. So welcome to the chat. Hope you're having a good night. Captain Joe's in the house. What's up, Captain Joe? Hope you're having a wonderful evening. Who else we got? Uh-oh. I can't start yawning already. That's not good. Need to get the so I'm kind of hot in my office today, so I don't want to I don't want to drink my coffee, but I probably should to get through this. Who else we got in the house? Charles Goluski's in the house. What's up, Charles? Hope you're having a good night. Hello. Oh, man, I'm yawning already. That's the second yawn in a minute. Y'all are going to probably see me fall asleep tonight. Oh, no. I'm sorry, y'all. I just yawned and got a cramp in my neck. That's messed up. I tell you what, the older I get, the more weird things happen in my body that I don't understand. Yeah, so Jim said he's from Southeast Michigan, right here. It's also hard when you're my age to keep all my viewers straight, especially when some of y'all have the same name. And Jim's Droning likes to change his YouTube channel sometimes, so I didn't know if you were just Jim's Droning, but so Stephen Drones is in the house. What's up, Steve? Give me 1 second. Y'all, so I have my Insta360 Inspire 2 up for sale on Facebook, and I guess I just said it was available in Smyrna, but there's a Smyrna, Georgia, and a Smyrna, Smyrna, Tennessee, and I've been getting all of these offers from Georgia, so I might be driving to Chattanooga to sell my drone because nobody in Nashville wants it, but sure are a lot of people in Georgia that keep asking for it. Bob Casey's in the house. What's up, Bob? Hope you're having a good night. I'm yawning, y'all. What is up with this? I swear I had energy right before I started this live stream. So Dusty wants me to talk about hot dogs. What kind do I prefer? I prefer all beef hot dogs. I actually get kielbasa a lot of times and grill out kielbasas and slice them in hamburger length, or sorry, hot dog length. But my favorite hot dog on the planet comes from B&K Root Beer in Indiana. And it is a chili dog, like coney dog. It's really like a coney dog. So that means it doesn't have any beans in the chili, but it's like a chili dog. But it's more of like a ketchup-y based coney sauce. And that is the best hot dog I've ever had. Yeah, I talked about hot dogs. So, Chuck, if you give it a whirl, it's not that difficult. There's just a little bit of welding. But I was able to do a different mod to another Avata pretty easily, just buying like a $25 it's not welding. What is it called? I don't remember what it's called. Solder. Yeah. I just did a little bit of, got a little soldering iron that came with some solder, and you really just have to you have to unsolder the motors and resolder new ones, and then everything else just kind of screws together. But the motors was the hard part. Speed, I couldn't tell you. I didn't really test out how fast it goes. But I will say, so the 5-inch Avata that I have, that's meant for speed. It's more like racing blades, and then this one's more of a Cinewhoop still. It can just hold more. So it's not really designed to go fast. It's more designed to just hold up a GoPro and fly smooth. Did I miss anybody? Did I say hi to you, Bob? I'll say hi to you again. What's up, Bob? Yeah, I got a Charlie horse in my neck. I don't like it. Just from yawning. Like I'm afraid like I'm going to get a Charlie horse in the middle of the night while I'm breathing. Um, so I think we. So Joe likes Costco hot dogs, Kirkland brand. Are those the Costco hot dogs in the snack bar, or regular Sam's Wholesale? I don't know if y'all have Sam's or not. It's kind of a like Sam Walton, I think. Started Walmart and Sam's, but Sam's is like a Costco version of Walmart. So we've got Sam's Club, we have Costco, and we just recently got a BJ's, and I love BJ's. So looks like Steve said hello to Brent. Oh, there he is. I skipped by it. I skipped by you, Brent. Welcome to the chat. Hope you're having a good night. Eat more. So on my screen, Eat More Possum and East Coast Thrills looks very similar. They're about the same size. All right. So Bob said we need to figure out a drone meetup in our neck of the woods. Maybe get set for early next year, April or May. Yeah, I was thinking. So I was also talking to Brad about this as well, B-Rad. And I think the Smoky Mountains would be a cool place to have a meetup. Even if like, I don't know, if we got like a cabin or something, but like, but I think for you, Bob, getting to around Gatlinburg or Sevierville or somewhere like that would be pretty simple. Me getting there, and then Brad's on the other side. And then there's also a lot of people that went to the Florida meetup were from Georgia. And so I thought it might be kind of cool to bring in Georgia people up. Like, I think people from Georgia, Atlanta area can get up to the Smoky Mountains. You and I can go to the Smoky Mountains and all that. So yeah, I definitely would like to. I just don't know if I could organize all that. But if we just picked a hotel and then we found a place to meet. So Jim said you have to try Kowalski kielbasa. Promise you this will be the last that you have to try. Just look it up. I will look that up. The ones that we have here in Publix are Eckrich. I really like Eckrich. Actually, Eckrich is my favorite bologna, but it's hard to find Eckrich bologna here, but because that was kind of an Indiana thing. But Eckrich kielbasa. The Eckrich kielbasa and the smoked sausage don't taste much different to me. So, but I like those. The skin is not super tough. So like when you bite into it, you're not like choking on this skin that you can't chew through. So I like that a lot. Yeah, a lot of meetups are starting up. I just, that drive to Florida is crazy for me. Like I spend 2 days driving there and 2 days back. And then this year, I feel like I didn't really get to spend much time with people because I didn't stay at the hotel. So I kind of went to the meetup, or I went the night before, and then I went to the meetup. But because I wasn't a part of the hotel hangouts, I missed a lot. And by the time I got back from Florida, I was like, I enjoy seeing people. I enjoy, seeing people in person. But for that, 4 or 5 hours of hangout time, was it worth 4 days of driving? So I'm trying to figure all that out. And a lot of people didn't come this year that I have seen in the past. So anyway. Who else? Do we have anybody else in the chat? So Chuck had hot dogs up in Iceland. He said they were pretty good. I had my uncle, who's my dad's twin. He worked in a meat packing plant, and he was the one that poured all of the ingredients into the sausage mixer. What a stinky job, though. A bunch of raw meat. Ugh. All right. So Joe's talking about the same as in their deli. So nice. I don't think I've ever bought a hot dog from a deli. Interesting. So Bob asks if I like my coffee black, what do I put in my coffee? So ever since I became diabetic, coffee is about the only sweet thing that I have every day. And so I put some Splenda in it, and I put some French vanilla creamer in it. But I do enjoy, I've never really enjoyed black. I've enjoyed some espressos that were pretty bitter, but I've never gone straight black. It's always got to have at least some cream in there. I don't like the feel of coffee without creamer in it. I like how creamer makes it a little smooth. But I could like black if I tried. My old boss, when he became diabetic, he started putting he learned how to drink black coffee, and he put cinnamon in it. And the cinnamon was enough to just give it an extra flavor. But I have several friends that have started their own coffee companies, or have started their own roasters, where they roast coffee. So I have access to a lot of like really ethnic type coffees. I have a story about coffee. When I was a missionary in Israel, they have Turkish coffee there. And I didn't know what Turkish coffee was. And Turkish coffee doesn't look much different than instant coffee here in America. So, but apparently what you're supposed to do with Turkish coffee is you're supposed to pour boiling water into a cup, and then you're supposed to put like this much, like an inch worth of Turkish coffee in there. And what it does is it just sits in the water and kind of marinates the water, infuses the water with coffee flavor, and then you're just supposed to drink the top layer, but you're not supposed to drink all the settlement down at the bottom of it. So I took a big swig of it, got a whole bunch of coffee grounds down my throat. So that's a funny story I have about coffee. So Chuck said that I guess the Icelandic hot dogs are made out of lamb. I don't think I've ever had a hot dog made out of lamb. I've had beef. I've had like the some that are made out of beef, pork, and chicken. Um, but I've never had lamb. I've also tried like some like chicken sausage with like lamb chunk or not lamb chunks, chicken sausage with like apple chunks and herbs. I really like that. So Bob said there's not much airspace that we can fly in Sevierville. I'm sure there's somewhere around there that we could fly. We'll just have to look at a lot of the airspace. Um, I know when I was there, I flew a golf course, but the only downside of the golf course is across the street there was helicopter tours, and um, so I had to be mindful of that helicopter. But I could take off and land. It wasn't controlled airspace. It was just like hey, every once in a while there'll be like a farm with a that will crop dust, and it'll say just so you know there might be a helicopter up in the air. So yeah, Bob Casey, the the golf course that I flew was right next to the national forest. So I made my waypoint mission so that it just kind of went near the national forest and kind of went along the perimeter and then came around and came back this way. So I was close enough to the national forest that I could get beautiful mountains in the background, but wasn't breaking any laws by not going over into that airspace. Um, so, and the golf course was kind of nice because there wasn't, um, there was just a person every once in a while. It wasn't like heavily trafficked, like mall traffic. There wasn't like a parking lot where there's a lot of people in it. There wasn't, just every once in a while there'd be someone on a golf court. So it was pretty ideal. But I don't want to have a meetup next to a golf course and then just piss off all the golfers all day. um, so Jim said Deal's Gap, which is where the Dragon's Tail is in Tennessee and North Carolina. Let's look that up. Motorcycle Point. Ooh. I'm going to share my screen real quick. So I looked up Deal's Gap. Tail of the Dragon at Deal's Gap in North Carolina is famous for its 318 curves in 11 miles. I say we just have our meetup right there in that parking lot right there. That's beautiful. This picture is the one I saw. What do you think about that, Bob? Oh, that's lame. I don't know why it's under food, but that looks like a really cool place to fly. Um, so anyway, that's pretty cool. So Bob, I have a friend. His name was Maurice. He passed away, but he he worked at our church, and then he used to hang out in the Starbucks next to our church all the time. And there's a drink there called the Maurice, and it is a white mocha with a shot of raspberry, and it is delicious. I might go get that tomorrow now that I saw that. But it's basically a white chocolate mocha, but then they put like one squirt of raspberry syrup in it. It is delicious. All right, I'm going to fast forward a little bit. What about corn dogs? Have you, like, when I was a kid in the mall, there used to be this place. I don't know what it's called. I feel like it was a pretty famous place, though. I feel like it's like Coney Island famous, but it was a hot dog in the food court. It was, you could get hot dogs and pink lemonade, and it was, and they make the corn dogs right there. So they have like, a little place with full of cornbread, and they dip the dog in there, and then they put it in the fryer, and so it's a fresh corn dog, not like a cooked corn dog they just reheated in oil. Like this was like legit, and I loved it. Yeah, surprisingly, there's a lot of places in Gatlinburg that you actually can fly. I think I forget what it's called, but there's a new place in Gatlinburg that's like a bunch of tree houses up on top of the mountain. I think it'd be awesome to fly that, but I don't think you could fly like downtown Gatlinburg very well. Yeah, Bob, I feel like going down to the Florida meetup, there's a lot of like ocean and bays and sailboats and stuff like that. I feel like mountains is what we have to offer here. Like fields with hills and mountains and rolling hills, and we've got like lakes and rivers and stuff like that. I feel like we should do a meetup around something like that. But Gallenberg is cool, or even like anywhere in the Smoky Mountains. They've got they got mountains in Kentucky too. Um, so I think that would be cool. Even like, I wish there was better parking at the Knob. We could just do a meetup around that. Pilot Knob. Actually, I want a fresh corn dog. I'm gonna figure out how to make a fresh corn dog. All right, I got to the end of the chat. Uh-oh, it looks like I'm boring a lot of people. There's only 3 people here. Um, so all right. So I'm gonna um, I'm gonna go ahead and play some videos that I took today. It's a very quick flight, but I wanted to play around with Insta360 Studio a little bit. But I want to show you guys what the flight looked like. So I'm going to share those videos. Hopefully it'll work. This live streaming only accepts a couple formats, and so I never know if I'm exporting in the right format or not. All right, let's see where it's at. All right. I'm going to turn the audio down. It's really annoying. Did it turn the audio down? I feel like it didn't turn the audio down. There, that's better. So this is the tiny planet of me flying the Insta360 X5 on top of the Avata 3.5 inch. It was pretty stable, but the wind kind of drifted it. So this part right here is me flying it without goggles, like, because I really wanted to see what, I always want to test it out before I take it up in the air. I just wanted to make sure that the wind wasn't making it drift too far. So I thought the video turned out good. Something that I'll do differently in the future is I will start recording in the sun because I feel like I got a lot of noise because I started the recording in the shade. But I think on a day that it's not windy, I think something like this would be pretty cool to like hit gaps with a 360 camera. So right now I'm in hovering. As you can see, it's hovering pretty well. The drone is shifting a little bit, but this is like showing you how good the image stabilization is on the camera. And then there were some dogs across the way a little bit. So I went over and annoyed the dogs a little bit. They were barking at. You might be able to see them a little bit here. You'll be able to see them in the next video really good. But yeah, there's the dogs right there. And all the buttercups are out. So the grass is very green and there's a lot of like yellow little flowers all over it, which is kind of nice. I don't like the yellow flowers in my yard, but I don't mind them in this little spillway over here. Huh. I really like the idea of the Blue Ridge Parkway somewhere along that, Bob. Yeah, I can get in my VR headset and look up different. I can go to the that snake. I feel like I've watched videos about that snake before. I forget what you guys called it. But yeah, here in the video, that's like the length of the video, just because it was windy, it was drifty, and I really just wanted a little file to play with tonight. So yeah, that's that video. That's the Tiny Planet version. Since I have, it's a 360 video. This is looking out of the front. And I believe I put it in linear mode, but the quality right here on this video file is not as good as coming straight out of the drone, but um, it's pretty cool. Um, but I think it did a great job with, the HDR capabilities. In that shade, even though it's dark, you can still see, my skin tones. You can see like the shadows aren't super harsh, which I think it has great dynamic range. But here's the exact same flight from a different angle. Jim's droning. Now we got both Jims in here. That's the Jim I was talking about, other Jim. Picked up an ice cream cake from Dairy Queen. That sounds wonderful. Jim, what we're looking at right now is my X5, the Insta360 X5 on top of my DJI Avata 3.5. So this, I feel like this is where I put the goggles on. Maybe not. I wasn't paying attention to my own live stream. Yeah. So I'm putting the goggles on, and now we're going to go fly for real. And I think it's interesting that in this shot, I see things that I didn't notice in the last shot. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that Kowalski sausage. So I think the sunset looks amazing here. Like that shot right there looks really good. And I exported in HD, so I don't know if I'll utilize Final Cut Pro or Insta360 Studio to render these. All right. I got Kowalski. All right. So that was that angle. And then I decided to export in 90 degrees. So I'm going to show this video. So this is the exact same footage, but looking out of the right of the camera. So I'm utilizing one lens, and I'm not. So there's not going to be any like weird issues with the stitch, but you'll notice that the drone will fly like this from time to time, and so you'll see the sides of the blades kind of come in when I bank a turn. So, Bob, I'm going on a mission trip to Black Mountain in June. We have like a Christian school on Black Mountain that was really affected by the floods last year. So, um, our youth group is going on a mission trip to Black Mountain. Um, so I'm pretty excited about that. So I don't know if you noticed it right there, but let me back up a little bit. Yeah, right about here. So you'll notice when I bank this turn, the blades come up into the right. Yeah, Bob, I'm planning on like doing a documentary on the mission trip. Doing some interviews with the people at the ministry and get the word out of, what they still need. Because I feel like a lot of people help people out that were in hurricanes and tornadoes and stuff like that. Like there's a big rush to help people out, like the month it happened, but then everybody just kind of forgets about it. Yeah, Jim, I don't know if where I'm going is in Kentucky or Virginia. I feel like it's in Virginia. I feel like we're going over the line. And there were parts of the interstate that that fell down or that were washed away. But Kowalski. So it looks like I can get Kowalski at Walmart. I can pick it up today. Novi Super Center. Oh no, I can't pick that up today. So I thought this was kind of a neat little angle. Sorry, the sausage has got me wanting some sausage. So Jim asked if this is HDR. I believe it is. I was in a hurry, so I didn't like adjust the settings. I just hit the record button, but I'm pretty sure it's HDR because this shot right here. Let me pause it and back up a little bit. Let's see. Oh crap. I mean, it does a great job with the colors and the shadows. This shot right here, pause. This shot right here, that lens is looking directly at the sun. There's a cloud up there, but there's still like full sunlight. I'm also getting shadows in the left. I'm getting super bright grass on the right. But I just want to say that like the original, oh, and there's a bird right next to my logo. That's kind of neat. But this shot was not attainable on the original Insta360 one. Like they've gotten a lot better. Like if you think about it, the backyard, my back porch is like in the dark. Like, I mean, it's not totally in the dark, but it is low light situation. And then the sun, it's like the sun is low. So that's like when you're driving home in the evening from work and the time, daylight savings time had just changed and you've got that sun like pointing right into your windshield. That's the situation that's happening right now. And that camera is doing a wonderful job. So I'm pretty sure this is HDR. So yep, that's that video. So what was I gonna do? We're gonna do this. So it's got me able to pick it up today. Let's see if it's local. Nope, it's not letting me do it. It's want me to go to the, well, anyway, I shouldn't do this online. So you said there's a meetup in Elgin, Illinois? Oh, that's still 8 hours for me. Dang. Like there's parts of Illinois that I'm pretty close to. All right. So there's a, I just got a firmware update to the Insta360 Studio. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go into playing around with the new Insta360 Studio. We're going to make it fit a little bit better. All right. So I wonder if I can move myself. That'll put me right there. I feel like I can move myself. All right, we're just going to hide me. Can y'all hear me now? Check, 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 check. Check, check, 1, 2, 3. Check, check, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it looks like I can't remove my face off of the live stream, but that's okay. All right, so let's start over. Let's bring this back to 0. But I wanted to show you, like, each time you put a keyframe, you've got a lot of control over what you do. So right now I've got a tiny planet mode in this keyframe, and it's got like 90 degrees here, my pan angle, but let's do 180. And so if you guys were ever good at geometry, 360 degrees is a perfect circle. So 180 is half of a circle, but you can do like 60 degrees, 90 degrees is a right angle. So I generally use 90 a lot, 180 a lot. And you can see the tilt angles -90, but if I just did 90, now it's a tunnel instead of a planet. But we're going to go back to -90. And then if I wanted to turn it completely around, I would do 180. And now I'm on top. So that's what you can do with keyframes. And then here, this is kind of your bulge. So let's do 90. Let's do 100. 200. Oh, that's not right. So you can do a lot with this video. So let's start a keyframe. I'm not sure exactly what this keyframe is. Oh, I'm changing the keyframe as we go. So let's just start it out with linear. Change this to 0. And so this just looks like a normal video. And then I'm going to go to about here, add another keyframe, and we're going to turn it into Tiny Planet. And we're going to bring it in a little bit, and I'm going to angle it about here. All right. And so we're going to go back to here, and we're just going to play the video so you guys can see. So you can see how windy it is and the trees back there. The other thing I wanted to show you guys is I wanted to find something to track. Let's start here, and let's deep track my little fire pit. So it's doing a lot better job. It's still tracking it. I'm amazed at that. That tracking is doing a wonderful job. That's way better than it used to be, y'all. All right, I'm going to stop tracking because that's kind of annoying. But this is what it looks like. All right, Jim, I just gave you a wrench. So now that we've got it tracking, we can grab this little tracking area and we can adjust all of the perimeters of the tracking. So if I don't like how zoomed in it is, if I don't like this part, you can go back to the tracking and watch it. But let's get to a better. All right, let's see if this will work out. Yeah, now would be a good time to track it. So let's track it again. Another thing I want to do is, once I get to flying, let's track this right here. See if it'll track that. All right, I'm going to kill that. And we're going to zoom in a little bit. I want to get these dogs. So let's see if we can track the dogs. Still pretty far away, but we'll see. All right. So the other thing that I wanted to try out, they've added the ability to create a project. The projects have been around for a while, but you now have the ability to edit 360 videos. So we're going to do a 360 test. All right. So I haven't done this yet. So we're going to see. All right, we've added it to the timeline. We've got a new 360 monitor, which is cool. So this is the actual view. So I don't know if I can move this or not. But let's add text. Looks like we're loading. All right, let's see what that does. Let's see what this one does. So it'll be interesting to see if I take this off of that. Oh, I don't know if that's doing what I wanted it to do. So let's start here. Interesting. Huh. Vlog style. Travel. There you go, Chuck. So it looks like there's transitions. Looks like it's loading. Come on, load. I'm going to split it right there. These are camera movements. So we'll see if this works or not. Curious. Huh. I don't know if that'll work actually. But I wanted to see what the export. So yeah, you can export 360 videos, which is pretty cool. So anyway, I don't know if that was enjoyable for y'all. But yeah, I feel like Chuck said goodbye like 8 times. But yeah, I think I want to call it a night. I'm also planning on doing the Insta360 from hanging it from my DJI Mavic 3. So stay tuned for that video. I think I'm going to go on location and do that somewhere else. I might do another park. What I like to do there is I like to do a waypoint mission, so that the flying is really, really smooth. Whenever I'm hanging something from the drone, I like the movements of the drone to not be so jerky. And sometimes when I'm flying with my hands, sometimes I have a tendency to speed up a little bit or slow down. So whenever I'm hanging a 360 camera or a GoPro or something like that off of a drone, I like to use waypoint missions. That way the drone can be smooth and steady in flight. So I'm planning on doing a video like that with the X5. Yeah, and I'm trying to sell a bunch of cameras and drones and stuff like that, and pay off some of these bills that I've been accruing. Yeah, with all that, I hope you guys like this live stream. Please like, subscribe to my channel, click on the bell for notifications of when I put out more live streams or videos on drones, 360 cameras, action cameras, all the good stuff. Have a wonderful day, y'all. Peace out.